Imagine you're on a beautiful nature walk through the woods with your family. You decide to go off the trail to get a better look at an amazing view in the mountains of Tennessee, only to see a heavy storm rolling in. You've rushed back, you and your family, to where you parked and end up losing the way back to your starting point. What do you do? Hello, my name is Tom Cook, and I have more than 20 years' experience navigating, camping, hiking, and surviving in the woods. I love the woods so much that I got it tattooed on me. Many times in my life, I've just went into the woods with the bare minimum to test and prepare for the worst should the situation arise. Many people do not live in an area where they can practice such skills, but during this speech, you will learn the three most important skills I believe everybody should know in case you find yourself in that situation. The basics of starting a fire, how to find or build a basic shelter, and then how to administer basic first aid to yourself or a family member. Those of us who love the outdoors always have a fear in the back of our heads of the worst possible situation happening, losing your way or getting hurt in the woods. Most of these situations require you to stop and assess the situation for any amount of time. Even if you've never stepped foot in the woods, or in the event you are without power due to a natural disaster, attack on our soil, or even an alien invasion, these are some basic skills that you need to know to survive. If there is an injury to yourself or your buddy, that must be taken care of first. You should always have a small first aid kit with you, including the very basics, such as adhesive tape, bandages, a tourniquet, antiseptic wipes, and scissors or tweezers. Every injury is different and must be taken care of based on severity. The first is to remain calm, assess the injury. Consider the options you have with you and how you can treat the injury. There are many items that can be utilized, such as a shirt to stop bleeding or a stick as a splint. Some of the most common procedures known before heading into the woods is how to identify and treat heat stroke and dehydration, how to clean and treat a wound, and then how to treat sprains and broken bones, and knowing the Heimlich maneuver and CPR. Some injuries must be taken care of immediately, and some can be moved into the priority list of survival situation depending. If your injuries can wait, I highly recommend you start with the following essential skill. Fire. Fire is life in the woods. No matter the temperature where you are, knowing how to build a fire is the first step. As the benefits include, you can purify water, you can cook food, it can be used as a signal, it can provide warmth and light, and even keep predators at bay depending on where you're at. You should have a minimum of 2 days to start a fire on you when venturing into the woods. The first being a lighter of matches, the most anticipated fire starter. My second would be what's called a ferro rod. A ferro rod is used by taking a piece of metal, such as a knife, and quickly scraping along that rod, which emits a strong, hot spark. One thing to remember is small fires make big fires. The first step is to gather small, dry, and light pieces of wood shavings or dried grass that will catch the sparks and easily be ignited. Once smoldering, you will place the ignited tinder bundle under a teepee of small, dry sticks, called kindling, usually the size of a pencil. From there, you will slowly add larger pieces of wood to burn. When you're gathering firewood, ensure the firewood is dry, and preferably from dead trees, as live trees contain moisture and are extremely harder to burn. Once you have a nice warm fire going, you can start working on the next step, a shelter. You need to keep yourself dry, cool, or warm, depending on your location. A shelter will ensure your safety and greatly increase your chances of survival, and will allow you to properly administer aid if needed. According to the Wilderness Awareness School, there are a few factors involved when building a shelter, including the shelter location, the time anticipated being in that area, and the condition of the location, and the natural materials that you have available. There are 3 types of shelter. You have your hasty, you have your semi-permanent, and then you have your permanent. You can build a very basic lean-to, or you can build a log cabin if needed. The basics of building a shelter is choosing the correct size, ensuring it can be warm, and ensuring it is sturdy, and constructing it in a convenient location. The simplest type of shelter is a lean-to. It consists of 2 main parts. The first being the support that is parallel to the ground. It could be a tree that has fell or a rope tied between 2 trees. The other is a flat panel that sits on the ground and leads to the center of support. So it looks something like this. Survival skills is a rabbit hole I have enjoyed traveling. It is something that you can never know too much about, and a skill you can constantly improve on. It's difficult to prepare for every single situation, but knowing these three basics of survival, which includes performing for basic first aid, building a fire, and then constructing a basic shelter, you can be prepared to ensure you and your family or your friends will make it to another day.